Yo, what's going on, guys? It's G Miners here. Real quick, I did want to announce that we officially have memberships on the channel. If you guys want to support me and the content I make more than just watching and liking the vids, you can by clicking the join button below. With that aside, Collective Obligation got a pretty substantial buff this season, and nobody's been talking about it or really showing the weapon off. So in this video, I wanted to go over the changes along with one of the best builds using the weapon in the entire game. All the changes listed from a few TWABs back are going to be on screen right now. First off, we're getting an extra 5 seconds for the Void Leech perk timer. This is a 50% increase in total, so it's actually a pretty big buff. And then the cooldown is then also removed. I personally never noticed a cooldown, but I'm guessing that after using the perk initially, you might not have been able to instantly reproc it, so that should be gone. And then, as if these two weren't enough, while Void Leech is active, the weapon now does 20% more damage. On top of all of this, the way that you charge the main perk, Void Leech, also got changed. Overall, it will now take less hits to charge the perk up. Kills are now going to instantly charge the perk, and if we ever get hit with any Void debuffs ourselves, then the perk will also become instantly charged. So not only is this weapon getting better in terms of the perk duration and the bonus damage, but the ease of use of the weapon is also going through the roof. Looking at the weapon's exotic perks just for a refresher, first up we have Void Leech, as I mentioned a bunch. This weapon leeches Void debuffs when damaging targets that are suppressed, weakened, or volatile, and it can leech multiple of these off enemies that have multiple applied. As we just read, this will require a few shots or a kill, and then you can hold R to fire the weapon with the Void debuffs that were leeched. And once again, while we are firing these debuffs that we did leech, we are also going to be dealing 20% more damage. Also keep in mind that Weaken will also apply for an additional 15%, and then Volatile will also deal huge chunks of increased damage. After that, we can also benefit from the other bonuses in Void 3.0. With the perk Umbral Sustenance, the weapon will be fully reloaded anytime we become invisible, we get an Overshield, or we get Devour to proc. Since Devour procs on every single kill, this will obviously be the best one to use. Before I get into the build part of the video, if you guys do enjoy it, don't forget to drop a like and sub down below. Subbing is completely free, it helps me out a ton, and you can always change your mind later. And while you're at it, drop me a follow over on Twitch if you want to watch me live. Now, the reason I choose to run this weapon on Titans specifically, for the most part, is because you can easily get all 3 Void debuffs with a single ability. And this cannot be done on any other class. Warlocks and Hunters will require a lot more work for the exact same result. First up, I am on Sentinel Shield here, but in harder content, the 25% weapon damage from Weapons of Light and Bubble is going to come in clutch. After this, I am on Shield Throw just for the ease of use and the ability spam, as I will go over later. And then most importantly for the build is going to be Suppressor Nades. This is going to be how we get the Suppressor debuff on our Void Leech. After this is where our 2 aspects come into play. First up is Controlled Demolition. This is going to allow all abilities to apply the Volatile debuff. So for the most part, this is where we will be Void Leeching Volatile. Most importantly, this also allows Volatile explosions to spread Volatile, which is insane. And then kills against Volatile enemies also heal us and our team. Definitely one of the best aspects in the entire game. And then after this, I am running Offensive Bulwark. This is just for the bonus fragment slot. That's it. For the fragments, this is where the rest of the Void debuffs and bonuses are going to come into play. First up is Echo of Undermining. This will allow our grenades to now apply the Weaken effect. So just with this, Suppressor Nade, and Controlled Demolition, one grenade is going to apply all 3 debuffs to a single enemy. We also have on Echo of Instability, which gives volatile rounds on grenade kills. Because the chain volatile explosions are so good, even in higher end content, this makes it much easier to gain volatile rounds if we can't manage to get the Void Leech. Echo of Starvation is going to give Devour on orb pickups. So once this is procced, we will hardly ever reload Collective Obligation, and we will get full health on kill and additional grenade energy, so our Suppressor Nade is always ready for Void Leeching. And then lastly, because we are on Controlled Demolition, Echo of Expulsion is going to allow our Volatile and regular ability kills to detonate targets. I believe the Volatile counts for Titans because of Controlled Demo, but I could be wrong. Either way, when explosions happen, everything just dies. Other than the subclass, the only 2 things I typically run are going to be Harmonic Siphon on my helmet. This is 1 energy and allows void weapon kills to create orbs of power. This is also to get Devour to proc. And then I also run Heart of Inmost Light for the ability spam. Once again, this is why I run the shield throw, just easier to use with the build as a throwaway ability, so I can really just circle back to my grenade. Because of how strong the build can be with the volatile explosions and everything else, you want to try to use your grenades to take down tankier enemies. The main reason being that if you throw a grenade at a group of trash ads, everything is going to instantly die and you won't be able to void leech the debuffs. This is another reason that Heart of Inmost Light and Devour come in clutch. Even if you manage to always get Void Leech to proc, you're still going to need a nade to reapply every debuff to get it all stacking again. Other than that, once the build is set up and you have everything leashed with Devour, you go to town. You never need to reload. Every enemy is going to take 15% more damage from the weaken you apply, and keep in mind, this damage is for the whole team because it is a debuff. The volatile explosions deal even more damage, and if you use it against one trash ad, it's going to chain detonate everything nearby, so the ad clear is nuts. The weapon itself hits 20% harder while Void Leech is active, and then most importantly, you are constantly suppressing enemies. This is like having a blinding GL on at all times, except you are also dealing a metric ton of damage and ad clear with it. Especially in endgame content, being able to perma-suppress an enemy is amazing. You also have all 5 mod slots that you can fill with mods if you choose to. I didn't want to go too in-depth with this build, and I also wanted mod slots to be open for people who take this into raids and other endgame content for things like Font of Might, High Energy Fire, or whatever else your team may need. This and the Solar Lorelei build are hands down 2 of the best, well-rounded Titan builds for endgame content, and now Collective Obligation is making this one even better. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, along with your favorite subclass for Titans right now. Don't forget to drop a like and sub, and check me out over on Twitch. Anyways, that's all for this video, guys. As always, have a good one. Peace.